Hey you guys, it's me, Dave. Welcome back for another Bible Rebind review from Adrian at AE Bibles. But first, the book. If you want to know why I do Bible reviews, it's all in here. The title is called Hearing Love. It's available on Amazon in ebook and paperback. It is a life application commentary on the greatest commandment to hear, O Israel, the Lord is one. The Lord is our Lord, and you shall love him with all of your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And so anyway, thank you so much to everyone who has left a review on it. There was one that was just published this week. And man, it touched me. It made me bashful to read. It was like, wow, thank you. So thank you to the person, you know who you are if you're watching this video, who left that review. And I'm just constantly amazed. It's almost 2 years later. The book is still selling, and I'm just a self-published guy on Amazon, but it's still selling and bearing so much fruit. And so I love hearing the feedback, and I love reading the reviews, because the fruit that it's producing has been in my heart for so many years. And so those that are able to get through it. It's not a quick read like the last review said, but if you can get through it in bite-sized portions, consider some of these things and begin to assimilate it into your own life, I believe that it will just rock you and change you, and you'll become another person. You'll just completely fall in love with Jesus and his word, which is why I do Bible reviews. If you enjoy the music playing under this video or any of my videos, it's all available at forloveoftheword.bandcamp. If you're one of the few that comments every once in a while, you're like, man, I love your videos, but your music is creepy and annoying. Like, well, one, I apologize for my old music and the old videos and stuff. I really like the stuff that I do now. And anyway, it's my stuff, and it helps me draw attention to the music. So sorry the music's not going anywhere. I don't want it to be distracting. There's been some other videos where it's been kind of funny. But anyway, you can download it at forloveoftheword.bandcamp.com, and kind of as like a pre-announcement, I do have an album that I'm putting together now. It came together pretty quickly because I was just super inspired by a few different things. But I think I'm going to actually be able to transition to iTunes for some of those who are asking for iTunes and Amazon and Google and stuff. And so the landscape for being able to get your music out there has changed since I first started. And so I don't know if I'll put everything on there, but I'll put some of my favorite stuff on there. But everything will still be available at forloveoftheword.bandcamp.com. Even the stuff that embarrasses me now, still sells. So I'm like, okay, if you like it. Anyway, music is available, and then a special thank you to all the patrons, past and present, and the future ones who support my family and I in full-time ministry. Because the YouTube channel isn't my main thing. I'm actually a pastor. This is the sanctuary. I got here early today before prayer to film a Bible review for you, because I actually don't have a studio. That's one of the reasons it's hard for me to film. I just don't have a studio space that's all set up and I can go to. So anyway, I like the depth in the sanctuary, and the lights are super cool. The Holy Spirit's definitely here. We are a house of prayer. Anyway, thank you to all the patrons who support my family and full-time ministry. It is a major blessing. Even the $2 a month patrons, you guys have no idea just how much it ministers to our soul and really does help in this season. So thank you to all of you. If you would like to become a patron, there's a little bit extra content over there, and it's patreon.com/David Lee Brown, and you can go visit me over there and write me. Wow, that was a long time for announcements. I still do announcements for our service, and I don't like doing them, so I just try to make them as awkward as possible, because I don't like announcements at all. But if you don't announce things, people don't know what's going on sometimes. So you got to tell people what's going on. So anyway, I don't like announcements, especially announcements that have to do with me, like buy my book. But seriously, buy my book. What's this video about? Oh yeah, Adrian. Bless that man. He's been so generous and kind and just a cool guy, getting to know him in the last couple years. And so there was a spot in one of my recent videos where I'm like, hey, Bible publishers, wink, wink, wink. You should do New American Standard 1977 and a nice young blood, wink, wink, wink. Make nice quality 77s, wink, wink, wink. And so some of you guys might remember that. It was super over the top and comically exaggerated, even though I was serious. Within minutes of posting that video, Adrian's like, hey, I got a 77 New American Standard you would like. And he's like, I know your colors, so I'm just going to surprise you. And I'm like, Really? So anyway, he ended up sending me this beauty right here, like a couple weeks, months, or something later, and let's look at it together for this Bible review. I typically don't get into the text block too much, other than just to show you like what I chose, but he chose this knowing my colors and knowing what would go with what I've already got from him, and oh man, it's perfect. So thank you. Fun story about this, I don't usually sell my Bibles, but someone had reached out to me a couple months ago and I ended up selling my British Tan Skylar Caxton. Look, internet, I don't sell my Bibles usually. I was kind of sad to see the Caxton go, but just, a couple weeks after I sold the Caxton, like here comes Adrian's like, wow, this is about the size of my Caxton and like better than my Caxton. Sorry, Skylar, but it's just nice. And so just such a fun surprise. I got this in the mail. He sent it in the box that the original text block came in, and I got the paper, so I can tell you exactly what's on it and not sound like a fool till I go to say Badalassi Carlo. I'm still saying that wrong, I think, but whatever. Maybe I should watch other people with Badalassi Carlo Bibles and see how they pronounce it. And so I'm probably saying it wrong, so don't trust me on that pronunciation. But anyway, let's look at it. And I'm going to actually start with the text block first, so you know what's in this beautiful Bible. Now, I have an AMG Bible, that's the Keyword Study Bible. And if you've seen my older videos, that's like one of my favorites. Like that and the Revival Study Bible are my two most ultimate galactic favorite study Bibles. And so I knew AMG and like the Thompson Chain still produced a 1977 New American Standard, but I didn't know that AMG actually just did a 77 New American Standard with no notes. And so this is a double column block. It's a pretty thick block. Again, it's about the size of a Skylar Caxton. It says giant print on the box, and it is pretty giant even compared to some of the full-size Skylars. It says on the box it's handy size and easy to read 11-point font. Words of Jesus in red, 1977 edition of the New American Standard. Concordance and maps in it, but again, it's not a study Bible. They have book intros in it and some footnotes, but again, like a nice modern block for a 1977 New American Standard. Who'd have thunk it? And so anyway, that was just so sweet of him to think of me when I, winked at the world in that one video. So thank you so much, Adrian. And so this is the block he gave me. And since the Bible's open, he did the art gilding. I'm sure the gold foiling came on the edges of the pages, but he added the... Let me get my paper out. It doesn't say! Oh my gosh! It doesn't say on the paper, so I'm just guessing germanium red. Some sort of red, salmon-y looking color. So usually it's germanium. It's red under gold is all you really need to know. But he does such a good job. It's nice and even. Now, with the head and tail bands, I personally just like the white cloth ones. He does really nice leather head and tail bands, if that's your thing. But to me, that's just like a little bit too much leather on what's already a beautiful leather Bible. And that's just me. And so he put the white head and tail bands. I think he knows I like that. I think I've got the white head and tail bands on everything he's sent me so far. And these are nice Beresford ribbons. Now, the last Bible I had on the channel was that Zondervan, not Thomas Nelson, the Zondervan New American Standard Premier Edition. And so they say it's brown, but it's still kind of this mid-brown where it's closer to tan, but like a dark tan. And then they put this gold, red, and brown ribbon on it, which the ribbon colors on that one were just like, ugh, I don't know about that. And so Adrian kind of went with the similar color scheme as the Zondervan New American Standards for the ribbons. I don't know if he knew that or not, but that's what's here. That's what Zondervan's putting on their New American Standard Premier Collection Bibles in the tan brown color. But the difference is these are Beresford ribbons. And so Beresford ribbons, they're so soft and creamy and floppy, but the colors are also just so rich and deep, where I felt like the colors on the Zondervan, they were trying to go for this one, but it's just a different ribbon manufacturer from China probably. But Beresford ribbons are all from the UK. Even if you order them on Amazon, they come from the UK. So you better get all your Beresford ribbons before the tribulation starts, because otherwise you probably won't be able to get shipments from the UK, since Babylon's ports are going to be shut down and all that stuff. So anyway, that's another video maybe. But stock up on your Beresford ribbons before it's too late. You got a few years left. I know my friend Dave Matthews has like ribbons out the wazoo. If there's a color that I need, I'm like, hey bro, got some ribbons for me. But anyway, love that guy. I love the colors on this one because they're Beresford colors. Goes great with everything. Lastly, while it's open, you can see the interior gilt line, which I love the combo of the gilt line, a color that contrasts the interior liner, and the perimeter stitching. It just frames it so nice, so it keeps my attention in the Bible. Again, I get easily distracted, and so having something visual that just centers my eyes on the main thing, which is the scripture, of course, is just really nice and helpful. But you know, moving on to the perimeter stitching and the corner work, I mean, Adrian, he's just good at what he does. Adrian's done all my rebinds to this point, but in the past when I was looking at who do I want to rebind this Bible, my whole thing is like, I don't want a Bible that's rebound to look like a rebind. I want it to look like it can hang on the shelf with an Allen, with the Schuyler, with the new Steadfast Bibles. Like it should be on the shelf or sitting next to one of those and looks like it belongs. Like it shouldn't look funny with it or out of place or like, what was wrong with that Bible? So no exaggerated features, no weird shading, just everything looks professionally put together. And Adrian nails that, like every time. You can tell by the corner work, the attention to detail. Adrian does not make duds. I have not seen one. But I do know he's also a really nice guy. So if you have an issue, talk to him. And he'll do everything he can to make it right because he loves Jesus and has the fruit of the Spirit and all that. So that's kind of one of the advantages we have in our community that does business with one another, is we should have the fruit of the Spirit and love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control. And so I've only seen that from Adrian and dealing with others as well. But anyway, last detail while it's open, look at the thread color inside here. It's brown. And it's so nice. But now let's close it. And the first thing I want to draw your attention to is the thread color on the outside of the perimeter stitching. It's red. I showed my wife that because I was blown away, and she's like, oh, that's easy. You just put different colors in the sewing machine. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that was a thing. But I saw it, and I'm like, this is astonishing. Like, how did you do that? Like, red on top and brown on the bottom. And it just brings in the red ribbon so nice, and then it contrasts the art gilding where you have this red under gold thing, and then you're looking at it on the bottom, you have the gilt line, but then you have the red on top that matches one of the ribbon colors. I'm just like, what in the world? Like, the attention to detail is just so fun. And one of the things that he added, because I usually add it on my Bibles that I get from him, is the interior tooled line. So perimeter stitching with an interior tooled line. I just like that double thingy. It looks nice, but then practically it actually helps your yap fold better, because you already have kind of like this indent or this crease where the yap's naturally gonna fold on. And so the text block should be pretty close to where that interior tooled line is, and your yap will fold nice. Now, yesterday I got and I don't mean any sarcasm, I'm not mad at this comment, so don't hear me being like sarcastically mad. It's funny to me and I have fun inside my head. But I had this wonderful comment from an awesome YouTuber where he says, Brother David, Konjac is pronounced cognac. Is that right? Cognac? C-O-N-E-Y-A-K? Cognac? Cognac? Cognac. Like the liquor. I honestly, like, I don't drink hard liquor, so I don't know the names of these things. And so I still don't know, like, the cognac? Is that it? Cognac? Is that cone with an accent? Would someone else call it cognac? Anyway, so this color is cognac. Cognac 10 or whatever. I'll show you some of the differences. So anyway, I'm still working on these pronunciation things. And then he goes on to say, and you still have trouble saying Badalassi. It's pronounced exactly the same way it's spelled. So slow down and sound it out, brother. You can do this. God bless. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. Slow down and sound it out. Badallassi. Huh, okay. Is it Badalassi? I've been saying Badalassi. I guess that's not right. Okay. Badalassi. Is that like Italian? I could do French Badalassi. But this is Italian calfskin, so sorry to bring the French into this. Badalassi. Man, that's the way that it sounds. Maybe dude who wrote that comment, thank you for that. Do a video or something. Or like, if you're on my Facebook or Instagram or something, send me a voice thing and like just pronounce those things. That's the way I could play your voice on the next video when it comes in. So like both words I'm having trouble with. That's what color this is, okay? It's Cognac Badalassi Carlo calfskin. And Raised Hubs, Holy Bible, New American Standard Bible, 77 NASB, which is nice to be able to identify on the shelf if you're someone who's not me and doesn't know what exactly it is. And so anyway, really, really cool presentation. I love the interior liner, which is brown lambskin. Now that is tobacco. That's not brown. It's tobacco. Hang on. My wife's Bible, the big old Bible, I did a video on that one, has a brown liner. So this is brown. And this is tobacco. Oh, wow. There's a difference. Look at that. This tobacco lambskin liner, this cut of it is really soft. And then the cloth paper end sheets, those are brown, I know for a fact. And then flip it over and you got the AE Bibles logo on the back, which I love. The new logo, I don't know if it's new. It's new to me because they didn't come that way initially. So I just love it. The way that this leather feels with the dye, you can see the grain and the cracks in the calfskin, but it's still a lot smoother. It's very similar feeling as far as the smoothness and the softness to this one he did, the video I did of my Dream Bible, which is holding up nicely. Thank you very much. Anyway, feels very smooth. Some of the other Badalassi Carlo have a little bit of a rougher texture. This one has a smoother texture. I don't know if that's the color thing or natural grain stuff is going to feel different between different Bibles. There's Bibles that I have in the same color from Skylar, and they're all a little bit different. They all have their own unique little personality. But anyway, I don't show size references because usually the text blocks are irrelevant to a rebind video. But what I will show you is some of the color variances between all the calfskin ones that I have from Adrian. And so this is the cognac, and then I'll do my wife's Bible first, which was just in the natural. So the natural is a bit darker than I was expecting, a lot richer color, but you can see the cracks and things in it more than you can in the cognac. I'll show you the tops there. and then how it looks on the spine together. So that would be the cognac versus the natural. Similar tones, but they both have their distinctives. So I'm gonna put the natural up in the corner. I'm gonna show you this new King James one, the walnut, that I have next to the cognac. And then we have the brown. I don't even remember which brown it is. It's just the darkest brown that he had on there. So look for the super deep, duper dark brown. And then there's the steel gray that he sent me recently. So I'll just kind of put all those there, and you can see the difference between how each color interacts with the grain on the calf skin. All right, and then the last thing I'll do so you can see the spines, because sometimes the spines interact a little bit different with this stuff once you start stamping on it and flattening it. So I'll do natural walnut, then I'll do the deep, duper dark brown, the new cognac, and then we'll just put steel gray on top, and you can check out the spines and that waterfall of ribbons. Woohoo! And lastly, it smells amazing. And so just the smell alone is worth a rebind from Adrian at AE Bibles. I'll put the link to his website in the description. Thank you guys for watching another Bible review with me. My apologies for going a little bit longer than I usually do for a Bible review, but I guess there was a lot to talk about, and the announcements were really long too, weren't they? Okay, well, anyway, y'all, thank you again. All the links I mentioned will be in the description down below, and you can hit the little thing to see more and see all the links. They'll just be down there. So anyway, thank you guys so much. Again, how many times have I said thank you? I hope you feel very appreciated for watching this video, and I will see you guys later for the next Bible review.